For comparing data sets, it is important to note how to use dot plots to compare data from two or more groups focused on the four factors, which are center, spread, shape, and unusual features, including outliers. To compare data sets, you must find the mean, median, mode, IQR, and standard deviation. By comparing the mean and median, you can determine if the typical value is higher or lower than the typical or average value for the other set. Comparing the interquartile range and standard deviation, you can determine whether the data sets are more or less spread out, which means variability, than the other set of data values. It is important to focus on the center and the spread to compare the mode and range. So example 1 for comparing data sets is two line diagrams below illustrate data that was collected about the scores of two groups of children in a short test. So here's group A. The scores range from 1 to 5, and the frequency is from 0 to 5. Group B, the scores range from 0 to 6. So you can already kind of compare the variability of both just by looking at the graphs. So what is the mode for group A? And the mode is the number that shows up the most or the most common. So you can see here that 3 has the highest score in group A. So the mode of group A is 3. What is the mode for group B? So group B, you can see this line is higher than all of the rest. So the number that shows up the most in group B is 4. So this is 4. What is the range for group A? To find the range, you want to find the maximum and minimum values. So for group A, the maximum value is 4. The minimum value is 1. So maximum minus minimum is 4 minus, it's 5. The maximum value is 5 for group A. The minimum is 1. So 5 minus 1 is 4. So the range for group A is 4. The range for group B, it goes from the maximum is 6 and the minimum is 0. So 6 minus 0 is 6. So the range for group B is 6. Which class did the worst on the test? So to find that, you need to know the mode, which we can go back here. Mode for group A is 3, mode for group B is 4. Which group did the worst? So group A did the worst because their score was 3 compared to group B, which is 4. And 4 is greater than 3, therefore group A did the worst on their test. Which class has more varied results? Group B has more variability, so group B has the most varied results because their range is higher. We can go back here, their range is 6 compared to 4 for group A. And that is example 1, and that is how you compare data sets using range, mode, and medians. Example 2 is Catherine plants 2 different types of tomato plants. She records the number of tomatoes that she picks from each plant every day for 10 days. Her records are shown below. So plant A includes 4, 6, 7, 3, 5, 2, 1, 3, 6, 5. Plant B is 5, 6, 7, 6, 8, 9, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Calculate the mean for plant A. And the mean is the average, and you find the average by adding up all of the values and dividing them by the quantity of the values given. So the mean for plant A is 4.2 because 42 divided by 10 equals 4.2. Calculate the mean for plant B. So if you add up all of these, 71 divided by 10 is 7.1. So the mean for plant B is 7.1. Calculate the range for plant A. As stated before in example 1, you find the range by doing maximum minus minimum. So the maximum is 7 minus 1, which equals 6. So that is the range for plant A. For plant B, maximum is 9, minimum is 5. So 9 minus 5 is 4, and that is the range for plant B. Which plant produces more tomatoes on average? So to find the average, you find the mean, which is the same thing. So plant B produces more tomatoes because the mean of plant B is higher. If you go back, the mean for plant B is 7.1 compared to the mean for plant A, which is only 4.2. Which plant has the more consistent yield of tomatoes? plant B is more consistent because the range is lower, which is less variability, which means more consistency. You go back, the range for plant B is 4 compared to the range of plant A, which is 6. And that is also how you compare data distributions using mode, mean, and variability.